Good morning, and welcome to the new week to our breakfast show trading idea with SMARTRobie. And last night we have a very thrilling match. That's right, on the All England final badminton. That's right, this is what I'm talking about. And finally, do we have a new Malaysian hero? And that is going to be Lee Zijia. That's right. And he's beaten the world number 2 and also no world number 1 on the way to becoming the new winner of All England champion badminton. And it's something that we should be very proud of. Finally, a new hero has emerged for all of us. When especially in COVID-19, we need these kinds of inspiration in here, and it's really great. I did not expect him to win, but the first match was a thriller, almost 30-29. I hope you can watch that. If not, you can catch it on YouTube. That is something for us to cheer off. As Malaysian myself, I'm very proud of his achievement. Congratulations, Shabas, Shabas, as they say, Malaysia Boleh. So let's move on to what we have for you this morning in here, right? And that's right. And this morning we have a lot of great trade idea in here, and one of them certainly moving in our favor, which I will catch on to you this morning in here. Now let's look at what we have today. Today is definitely Monday, and it's a beginner level. That's right. But those of you who are visiting us now today, this is a trading plan. We'll be focusing on trading plan. We will review the trading plan that we did last week and see how they pan out with, and not to forget also on Pentagon Guider. That's right, in here. And let's look at our roundup this morning in our headline of our newspaper this morning in here. Definitely first one is all about glove. Another player here, Pegasus holding Berhad, which always been a loser actually. This company in here been losing money in here, and the stock price is only 3 cents. So they are into, previously if you notice, into property and shopping malls and leasing, and right now they are going to rubber gloves. So sometimes we need to ask, is this sensible in terms of it? But like it or not, it's the hottest thing around since what do you call cheesecake. So it has to be something. I think at the end of it, management like PHB partnership with WRP for such joint venture in here. And let's look at the PHB. Well, such news today prompt them to go a bit higher. Let's type it in there, PHB, and let's look at the stock price. All right. Oh, it is still down 16% for this morning in here. I wonder why for that one, right? And so sometimes good news may not be, especially if you're going to a news which is still finding difficult and a footing on the market. Let's move on to our next story in here. Now, next story is about MMS Venture and going into testing out semiconductor test equipment. If you can see MNS so far, MNSV, he has been in the downtrend for many months. Okay, and let's look at the stock chart in here, and we're switching to a wider chart here, right? You can see if you have exceeded the Pentagon maybe around 120, right now it's about 80 cents. You have lost about 40 cents in it. Will there be a green Pentagon after this? We have to wait for that one, right? If this give us a very good news. Having said that, let's also look at the stock chart to this morning into today is up 5%, responding on this very good news about test conductor in there. And we all know semiconductors is part of the new wave about the post-COVID recovery. More people buying laptops, more people buying handphones, mobile, and those semiconductors definitely will come in. And let's look at our market this morning too. We haven't looked at a chance to look into that. And our KLCI market so far is still in the blue trend zone. Now, what does that mean? Blue trend zone means the trend is likely to be up more than down. And guess what? We have 2 signs of strength there. That is, if you notice that it is spring SP, that is a sign of strength in here. We have upthrust, and like it or not, this market need to take out the old high that you see on the right hand side there. That's the one around 1640 in here. But this also tell you that this trend is still heading up rather than down, and I'm pretty optimistic eventually we will hit that 1650 right now. And why is that? Because some of those rubber glove stocks are moving this morning in here. All right, so that's something you want to take note of. Our KLCI market still moving in a nice uptrend here. Now let's move on to our next news. It's on Sindex, which is also a part property and part packaging in here, delivering 50 houses. So remember, if you type in sector analysis, you were able to see construction, property is part and parcel of those that is trending right now in here. So let's look at Sindex this morning, SCI, okay, SCI, not SCI, and you have hit that one. Okay, let's look at the stock price this morning in here, and you can see it's only up, still holding on at that $4. If in the past I've shown you before, Sindex, if you just type in the SMARTRobie, you could see this market is sort of still moving pretty much in a sideways market in here. We need something more or sort of like recovery like we've seen also in GCB that has done a very nice recovery, as also with Magna Tech. Those are one of those SMARTRobie with higher ratings. Check those out, SCB and Magna Tech. All right, let's move on to the next news that we have for you is CCK. Now, we all know recently Singapore has recalled some of the poultry eggs operator. I think Lei Hong may have taken a hit, but CCK consolidated. This is actually more of in expansion in Sabah and Sarawak, and they're doing pretty well. Have to think of it. CCK. Let's type up CCK here. Having said that, CCK for the chicken poultry operator. And let's look at the stock price this morning in here. It's down minus 2.2%. And is this the beginning of a profit taking? Let's switch to a wider chart here. You can see ever since the green pentagon that you see here, 56 cents. And if you look at here, you can see on the left hand side here, CCK is at 21.9 since the green pentagon. Again, it pays dividend to follow those green pentagon right now in here, right? And perhaps that will give you a possible play in this market that we see. But right now we have CCK undergoing profit taking. So do take note of it, because all these generally are good news, and good news people take profit, isn't it? Isn't that right? All right, let's look at the next stock we have for you. That's right. Let's look at the next stock news. Is no other than the US market. Now remember, last Friday the Dow fell almost 234 points, and as such this morning the market is sort of reacting, but we do have a nice basis holding up just in here. And again, very important, always going back to the chart setup that we see, the blue trend zone that you see inside there, that will tell you this market will still hold on, pretty much like our Malaysian new hero for the All England badminton champion in here, right? Lee Zitia, holding up and able to complete everything in 3 sets. And I think probably on the 3rd set, the opponent from Denmark probably lose steam, isn't it, right? So right now, this market, the Dow Jones is a little bit, correcting, still at the support level 32,000. It is because of the rising interest rate and also the as inflation, which is concerned the US market in here. The interest yield, 10-year yield has crossed over to 1.7 in here, and the tech stock continue to correct. Not until we see a bit of asset bond buying by the Federal Reserve, then we will see this rates being pretty much controlled. But right now what we have is pretty much a very down market, all kind of very in the doom and gloom, saying that a lot of these bubbles. But we had to see whether interest rate, right? Of course, we have seen the US Federal Reserve has said that they will maintain low interest rate at least into 2023. And that will be pretty much the theme coming to Malaysia. Interest rate is not going to go down. It's going to still be maintained in here going forward. All right, let's move on to the next, that's right, on our Pentagon beginner trade idea. So you can see on the beginner trade idea in here, pretty much we have updated this from January onwards. MPI, which is a technology stock, JHM technology stock, those have since corrected. UWC has corrected too, but the more recent are more for those economic recovery that we've seen, like Axiata and UMW. Those have make steady movement, but they're not going to go in very big way like what we see with MPI and JHM. And the same goes for the next stocks that we're going to talk about very much, the next Pentagon in here. But let's look at what generally in the lesson learned. That's right, our lesson learned next is the two trade idea that we were talking last week was IOI property and CBIP, and these are what we call recovery sectors that we have seen in the past weeks, where the government had dished out a lot of economic stimulus, and that is why we are seeing this, what we're seeing. So let's look at IOIPG. Now remember, last week we wrote a trading plan here, and I'm going to bring it up in here. So this is what we want to be seeing, and I'm going to bring up the charts too on IOI here that you see. So let me just make this a bit smaller, and so we can all put it in there and learn something this morning in here. So let's look at IOIPG. Okay, and look, oh, that is a nice one in here. You can see there was a pullback. Now the property sector is recovering. So that's the first statement that we did, right, is to show you that the property statement is recovering. So you can see on this chart on top there, from the economic stimulus and property sector is stronger. So having said that, you can see the sort of the weakening of the US market, but the market is supported. That's why we see a spring. And this is important, how we see the sentiment, the sector tie back to the chart, and no other than trading plan that you see in here. Weekly, we have a NS chart. So you see that, right? So that denotes more upside to come. And that's why it's no surprise this market going green Pentagon and blue trend zone volume with trend up. Good indicator on 9 or March. A good price to enter is $1.40. It did hit up to 145. It's still staying there at 140. Important price level here is 160. That's happened on 8th of February. If you can go back a bit more and a bit more, you can see pulling this down. This is where we were in 8th of February. Oh, let me just push this up a bit so you can see. Yeah, that's right. 8th of February is this one here. So that's 8 or price to enter 142. So we are nowhere. Stop loss 133. Okay, and this is 133 in here. 133. No, it didn't hit us. Profit target about 159. That's all. You wait for the red Pentagon. So this is still ongoing. And how long are we holding this? Likely to be 2 weeks to 2 months to 15th of July. That's right, 2 months in here. We want to hold it in here. So that's probably going to be on 15th of June. Sorry, this will be June. Okay, let's make a commitment to this, because now we're in the July. We are in the March, April, June, so we'll be holding to 15th of June. So take note of this is how we come back and always look back to our trading plan. Keep analyzing it, keep analyzing that. All right, so this is here, and let's move on to what we have for you. So IOI is 1.6. Let's bring up the chart to show you this. Okay, IOI, it's pretty much still in here, and CBIP, right, again, very similar story in here. Market goes up. So again, a lot of this sector will move in tandem, like what we see with the KLCI. So you can see the KLCI on just top of me here continue to move upwards, and you see those springs. So meaning this trend is likely to go up or go down. All right. So also thank you for sharing, those of you in here, especially on our Google Play Store and also on our Facebook, for your review. And we really appreciate your token of feedback. That's right. So let's move on to what we have next is our stock trade idea. That's right. Now this morning in our trade idea, those of you who want to, you can hit on to the Pentagon guider in here, but you can see on just above on this side, hinge side here, we have two stocks. I know Honga was asking about DNO, so your dream come true lah. We are picking this stock here for our trade idea for 22nd of March, for episode 48. That's right, TopGlove and DNO. So let me just bring it up. We will do a trading plan for TopGlove. So let me just bring this up here now. Okay, now this is a nice chart. We have the green Pentagon just came out only. All right, let's do this as part and parcel of our exercises in here. Okay, let's put it up in here so we can see. Okay, let's do this. Okay, on the weekly, daily, and weekly direction. So we can type this. Okay, TopGlove has been trending down since mid-February. And turn green Pentagon on what date is this? This will be 17, almost 1 month. Okay, 17 March 2021. Okay, so it has turned in, and finally we did have a climate. We did have a very high volume here. Okay, then we can put out the high volume is recorded on 24 February. And low, what's the lowest we've seen here? Was 470. Okay, at 470. Okay, so those are the so-called trend that we see. All right, and let's switch to a weekly chart, shall we? Oh, weekly chart is still trend down, but we did have a spring. Okay, weekly chart is still downtrend, but there is a spring. Okay, and that's what we call sign of strength on weekly basis. Now, those of you who are doing this, you can also do together with me, create this trading plan, so you will also do it. I think that's one way to learn the fastest, right? Is to create this trading plan and do it together with me. Okay, so let's switch back to daily chart. And it's also good for those of you who have subscribed to our package in here. Then you're able to see a much bigger picture in here. And the kind of money that you will make if you get it right will be sufficient to cover some of the costs that is involved inside here. Remember, you don't want to be penny wise, pound foolish. Invest in the right tool and invest on our plugin, okay? And many of you have spent a lot of time with us, and definitely you can see the power of our plugin that you see on the trading view here. All right, let's look at the indicator in here. Oh, it's continuing to go up. So we have, what do we say? Okay, so here, green, pentagon, trigger on what? Trigger on 17th of March. Okay, 17th of March inside here, and the market, okay, so the market is moving nicely and unsuspected. Can we say unsuspected? Because no one is talking about it yet. There is little mention in media. Okay, which is good. We want it to be little mention first, not until it blow up, then profit taking will come. Okay, okay, so what is the important price level in here? The important price level, okay, let's take a look. This will be this old high, $7. Okay, old resistance at $7, 701 lah, let's say somewhere around here. Right, 701, 703. Okay, let's put it 703. And what is the date? Okay, the date is 29 January. Okay, 29 January. Okay, safety. What is the price to enter? We usually take this price, or normally we enter the day on the opening price. So right now is, put our mouse in here, 541. Okay, so it'll be 541. Okay, and how about our X stop loss? Okay, so to find out our stop loss, what we want to do is just look at the exit strategy, or we just look here. Actually, there is. Let's go back to. Let me just show you this. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. So you can see here. Okay, this just on top of me here, and you can see TopGlove stop loss 514 or ATR stop loss 456. So we use the ATR stop loss. Now this is in your Pentagon guider in there. All right, just click it on that and you're able to see. So the stop loss will be 456. Okay, there is a profit target $6 or 560. Okay, 560. Now we enter 541, very little lah. We go for 614 lah, 614 to 615. Now also, let me just share with you in here. Now if you put in TopGlove, okay, and look at the stock fundamentals. Okay, so you look at the stock fundamentals here, and you can see there is, okay, stock fundamental just on top of me here, 713 at the PE of 8.5 times, because right now the PE is 6.4 and it's rated 5. As it go higher, the rating will drop because the price is making it less and less attractive, or less and less intrinsic sensitive. So in here, just take a note of it. Okay, let's put here, and we put intrinsic value is, oh sorry, not we put here lah, PE at 8.5 times. Target TP lah, let's call it TP, is equals to, how much is that? Let's look at that, 713. Okay, 713. So holding period, I think we keep to, usually, if you look at the trading plan, it's 2 weeks. Okay, 2 months. So if 2 months, we are looking to 22nd of June. Okay. Okay, that's it. That is our trading plan. Simple it is. So those of you who are looking for an idea, definitely something that we build up a plan in here. You can follow this, all right? And do take note of the stop loss, the profit target. These are important again. We do not know what the market is. And very similar D and O, okay? D and O, it's a much better trend because if you look at it, TopGlove is coming up from a low base here. And if you notice, Supermax is all doing the same thing. Let's look at Supermax, right? All right, it is also green pentagon. Only Hata has not turned yet, okay? Hata is not done yet. Hata is still moving in the sideway in here. All right. So let's look at the next one in our trade idea, DNO. And we will definitely, DNO is much nicer. Today is very nice beauty in here. All right. If the old resistance, the 462 will be definitely the one you want to, keep an eye on. All right. So those are the 2 trade ideas that we have for you this morning in here. And we will definitely come back and study this as part of a lesson learned, like what we did with IOI, PG, and CBIP. All right, let's move on to our next section that we have. It's definitely a reminder. Now, last week, some of you who have come to our value growth investing, we did share you the fixed rule of our Pentagon Guider trading portfolio returns. And last year we had a return of 106%. Based on the 35,000 in here. And one of the things what we keep flashing this again is that if you are not making this up to now about 9% return. Now, how many of you are making up to 9% return on your portfolio so far? All right, we are taking it from 1st of January until now. All right, so the reason why is that if you've been following me a fair bit, I would say every year you need to make that required rate of return of 8 to 12% return, the minimum, so you can compound and grow. Again, something I've talked about in our growth investing course. Those of you who came probably understand that. And right now we are on target at 9%. But take note, in 2020 we hit 106%. And if you can do that, this is how you can compound it and hit your financial goal faster than ever. And that's what we want to do. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the way how to get rich. So a lot of time we keep telling people how to have the right mindset in here. If you are not doing this, look at yourself, look at your result. How well are you compounding? Because we want to do this year in, year out. And if you do that, you will be as good as many of our masterclass students who come back. And it's part and parcel of our coaching and mentoring that we do in our masterclass. And we are doing this on our next intake. That's right, on April 2021. That's the one that we've been promoting in here. And I hope many of you who have decided to join us, good, because we want to give you an agenda to grow your money. So ask yourself a question. Do you want to grow wealthy and achieve your financial goal? Think about that. All right. So let's move on to the strength, sign of weakness, which we always talk about. This is the important chart that you want to see. So right now, if I bring out here, notice it's very, very similar, right? You can see finally we have the line change here. All right. And this is the kind of chart setup which is important for you to know. We have low volume. You can see this low volume here, right? You can see this low volume. It always corresponds to, there's always one here. And that's why we are so confident that trade VSA is the right way to trade in this market in here. And you definitely have the edge and able to do what we talked about just now, hitting that required rate of return for your portfolio in here. All right. I hope that what we say is going to be true. And let's move on to our next story in here. And this is the trade VSA tutorial in here. Sign of strength, sign of weakness. So you can check it out in here. So that'll be definitely great. And also do share this credit. That's right. If you share with your friend and you get 400 credit, and definitely last weekend you were able to come to the value growth event. And we did talk a lot about Bitcoin towards the end, also in the US market. And some of you who came probably have an insight to how Bitcoin can also help you to achieve that required rate of return, whichever, and also achieving your financial goal. I know there's a lot of things to really take note, but you must know what is noise and what is important in there. All right. So also share. And thank you to Richie Invest for his kind feedback on our Google Play Store inside here. And of course, as I said before, a lot of the time, we will give stock priority feedback to those of you who review in our Google Play Store and Apple Play Store. And special thanks to Happy118, Richie Invest for your kind, Chris Chin, LK Kwan, and also Bernard Chin and Yuki. That's right. So we will do our review right now in here, looking at this priority list right now. And let me see who is any stocks that you have. Okay, Honggan. So I think I talked about D and O already. Okay, and so good. So you all know there's no stock here. That's right. So they're from Dyna, tomorrow ex-dividend. After their price fall off too, we always look at the chart. All right. So Diane, I have to ask you, have you studied your chart or not? Have you studied the trade setup? If not, study more, continue to follow us, and why not join our masterclass? That's right. Then you will understand more why chart reading it's very important. Masterclass, remember. All right. So let's go on to the next chart here. We have Yuki on KPS. Okay, and we got Yang on Evergreen. Okay. So we just got two stocks inside here today. Very nice. I'll do Yuki one because she was she went in and helped us to do the rating. Let's look at KPS. Okay, KPS, certainly when you see this kind of stocks in here, what does it mean? It means, okay, let's bring out SMARTRobie. Okay, KPS. Okay, let's put in the exit strategy first. Okay, you have already read Pentagon. So think to exit if you break through $1.03 or $1.03. So Yuki, what are you gonna do? Do you want to exit or not? SMARTRobie is recommending you exit at 103. It is on the downtrend and can move side. So this is again going back to trading plan, whether you want to follow or not, and going back to the agenda of train trader and train investor. Many times again, if you are not trained, this will usually happens, right? If you have bought it right at here at 21st of January and you better got out here again, going back to holding up a trading plan in here, right? And you will make 30%. So I do hope you didn't buy at 125 and probably bought around 85 cents in here. Definitely KPS has turned negative towards you. All right, take a look at Pekka, take a look at Pi, which is I mentioned on the sector up here. Sorry, here. That's right. Take a look at those things inside here. And yeah, well, yeah, perhaps Yuki, do you want to upgrade your skill? Do join our April intake. And you have learned something on last Saturday, isn't it? On our value growth investing course, isn't it? So that's the one you want to consider. All right. Do think about the lesson that I've talked about in here. Okay. Next one we have is Evergreen, because those are the two stocks that we have, right? And if we have Richie. Okay. So Evergreen looks good. No problem in here whatsoever. You got a nice trend. You need to take out that uptrust first. All right. If you look at the Evergreen on the strategy wise, okay, hit that one. And you look at stock comment. Okay, let's wait for a while. The internet in here. There you go. It does tell you 8.4% in here. Exit strategy should be still okay too. All right, let's look at the exit strategy in here for KPS. So for Evergreen, it is in the green trend zone, no problem in here, 38 cents, which is still above it, and profit target will be 50 cents. All right, so that's something you want to consider, or 46.5 cents inside here. All right, so that's anything else? Okay. So that's all I have for this morning, because there isn't much stock review from you guys. And those of you who wanted to have a few more stock review in here, do pencil in there, and I'll be looking at it maybe in this coming Wednesday. That's right. So let's move on to our next topic. Now, remember, this Wednesday, I'll be talking about a new talk this coming Wednesday. So join us me at 9:30. How to spot the market bubble in KLSE and how to avoid it. That will be the 24th of March on 9:30 in here. Definitely and also our technical analysis trading view, something that we want to take you what you learn right now to spending more time. That will be on the 3rd of April to the 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. All right, and also continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel in here, and that's a QR code on top, so you won't miss out many of our great talks. And I know many of you are usually busy, so always click subscribe and always get updated in here. And don't forget to join our Telegram group for all free information, trading ideas, and also educational tips that will help you to get ahead. So thank you very much in here, and do have a good day and a great win for our Malaysian All England hero Lee Zhijiang. All right, bye bye. See you later.